In this video, we will use some techniques to mobilize the fingers and the hands and the wrists. Follow along with me. It's fairly simple work. And this is movement preparation work. So you can use this work as a way to prepare for more movement, or you can use this as a way to correct an imbalance in your fingers, hands, or wrist, or deal with some pain. The movements we're going to use in this video come from the Animal Flow system. So Mike Fitch is the creator of Animal Flow, and he teaches this style of mobilizing the wrists and hands frequently, and we'll do the same in the video. So the first thing is just to interlace your hands, and you're going to work with this sort of wave of the hands. First in a slow motion wave, just so we can kind of get the feel for it. So just try to go in one direction, allowing your hands to ripple in a way that looks like they're maybe on some sort of strange roller coaster. You could get your elbows involved. It's actually a pleasurable movement to play with. And then maybe get some rhythm or some speed to it. Okay, and then let's go the other direction. So you may find one way is easier or more fluid than the other way. And you also might play around with one hand pushing and one hand pulling. See how that feels. Great. Okay, so that's the first wrist, hand, and finger mobilization. The second is to pretend that you have magnetic bracelets on. So your wrists are going to touch on the bottom side here, and you'll spin your wrists so that the magnetic bracelet stays in contact the whole direction. And when you rotate your hands under in this way, splay out your fingers. Keep your hands somewhat close to your chest as you do this, and you'll feel your elbows float up and then float back down. So go one direction for several repetitions, being very mindful. Noticing the movements in your hands, feeling the movements in your joints. And then after several repetitions, come back the other way, keeping those magnetic bracelets in contact with each other. Great. And then for the next mobilization, you're going to interlace your fingers, almost in this prayer position. And then you will climb one wrist over the other in this sort of spiral-like fashion, keeping your hands very close to your chest. And as you work in this sort of circular spiral-like position, stay inside of what is painful. In other words, if you feel something that's super painful, don't necessarily go all the way into that. Only move as freely as you can today. We don't want to create a lot of pain with this. Okay, and then we'll go to the other side. So one direction and then the other direction. Okay, so that's some quick mobilization for the fingers, hands, and wrists. Use that to prepare for more aggressive movement or as a way to rehabilitate or mobilize your fingers, hands, and wrists.